The April inflation data just came in, and boy, is it bad. Breaking news, 8.3% year-over-year change in consumer prices. Now, of course, that is above expectations. Nothing new. As we have seen for the last 2 years, the Federal Reserve, economists, and talking heads all on television, they continue to understate and underexpect what is going to happen with inflation. Now, if we dig into the data, Charlie Bolillo breaking down exactly where that inflation is being derived from. First, you can see that gasoline is up 43% over the last 12 months. If you look at something like new cars, it's up 13%. Even though they are actually manipulating the way that that is calculated. Then the big one to me is food at home, up 10.8% over the last 12 months. That is completely unsustainable for the average American family. Food away from home, not much better at 7.2%. And then shelter at 5.1% increase over the last 12 months. Now, part of the problem is that nobody believes the CPI metrics. They're literally manipulating the way that it's calculated. We see that new cars, all of a sudden, yesterday, it gets announced that they're going to change the way they calculate those price increases. And then you look at something like shelter. They're telling us that rent is up close to 20% year over year on the national average. Home price is up about 20% national average. So how the hell is shelter only up 5%? Well, that's because, of course, nobody believes this number is only 8.3%. The real inflation rate in the United States is probably closer to about 15%. That means that the average American family is suffering. It's not a good situation. And until the Federal Reserve and politicians step in and start to actually change things, this isn't going away anytime soon. If we go ahead and we take a look around the world, you can see that the United States, it's at the bottom of the list. You can see here that the US at 8.3% is only better than Spain, Netherlands, Brazil, Poland, Russia, Argentina, Turkey, and Venezuela. It's not exactly the list that you want to be listed on if you're the United States. But also a key thing to look to in the future is that there's going to be a base effect. Remember, last year, starting around June, inflation went over 5%. It's been over 5% since. And so now if inflation number comes down, that's just a year-over-year change. But it actually means that we're compounding at 5% or more inflation year over year. And that is not good situation. And so expect for that inflation number to come down. It peaked in March at 8.5. In April, it was 8.3. That doesn't mean inflation is actually getting better. It just means that there's a base effect at play here and that inflation is still raging on. The Federal Reserve is going to have to increase interest rates and they're going to have to address this situation because if they don't, inflation is quite literally going to tax everyone.